I did just a very small prepper haul. Small but significant in a way. Here's my normal. I try to quite often buy the canned chicken. This is the 4-pack of the 12.5 ounce chicken chunk breast, and it's $9.98 for 4 of them. Here is 4 pounds of sugar in our local Walmart. That's $3.12 each. I got 2 of them. And this, I went ahead and bought some rice. Very partially was the reason that supposedly there's going to be a shortage. But the main reason I'm buying it is I've decided to start cooking, basically pressure cooking all of my long grain rice, and all of the other that I already have, it's already packed up, it's stored up, and this was just easier. It's $3.34 for 5 pounds. So do that times 4, and that's how much 20 pounds is right this second. And then lastly, I think I may have showed the other day, I bought 2 more of these while they're still available, the half-gallon mason jars. They're $13.97 for 6. So now bear with me. I'm going to switch gears here in just a second. Alright, so I moved all that other stuff, and now I have reset for the next phase of this. I, over the last couple of years and whatever, have watched videos from all kinds of different prepper channels. I've done lots and lots of research. I'm reading comments. I've even had a few of the people make their own comments on the channels about what we're putting some of our preps in. Number one, I'm almost 70 years old. I'm 68. I live on a very limited income. So my focus, as it should be in my financial bracket, is more geared towards people that may need to know what I know or see what I do to still be able to prep and prep on a budget. That being said, I was like everybody else when I started out. I slowly built up all my jars. I buy every kind of jar, glass jar that I possibly can. And then it got to where jars became harder and harder and harder to find, literally. And then it got to where I've seen jars be $5 per jar for one of these. So I started, I think it's Provident Prepper is the first one that told me about using the plastics. All right, herein comes what I was mentioning. I don't know about anybody else. I have seen so much ridicule, almost jeering and hating, just thinking we are dumber than Tom's dog because we are so stupid that we'll put our stuff in plastics. Okay, I really get that. So, being the person I am, and I come from a background of accounting, and I've even been an auditor before for an accountant, a CPA, and I've learned to dig deeper, go a little bit deeper, as everyone is making fun of this right here. Making fun of it. Other people are saying, I'm not about to put my stuff in plastics, and I even had a comment about, I will even poke holes in the thing below and so that it can oxygenate everything, but yet I leave the plastic there for the cooking instructions. And somebody said, well, they would never do that because of the plastic leaking or leaching. Okay, well, I really do respect that. And I love if everybody does their own homework, which is what I'm telling you to do now. Whenever I decide to use one of these, I couldn't vacuum seal it, but I packed it pretty well, And that particular one, I did oxygen absorbers. You never put, not oxygen, that was moisture absorber. And the salt and the sugar, you don't put oxygen absorbers. But what I do on some of these is I literally do put some oxygen absorbers. Then I seal them up as good as I can. And there you go. Well, guess what I did? I also do a whole lot of Mylar. So we have die-hard Mylar people on here. So let me go to this just a moment. This looks like a very tightly packed, and it is, all oxygen sucked out of it. Looks like a great job. Not as good as Survival Living. He is awesome. I mean, he's amazing in how he can pack this stuff. But then you look at this. It's the same kind of bag. I put the same kind of oxygen absorber, and yet that's not suctioned out. And I thought, okay, what am I doing wrong? There's going to be a part 2 of this, but while I'm on this part, let me flip to the back here. You can look at yours too if they tell what it is. This is polyethylene terephthalate, whatever this is, and aluminum foil. You know what that polyethylene is? Whatever. Excuse me, I can't even pronounce it. That's plastic. That is a type of plastic. The same type of plastic, although compounded and finished in another way, as what's in here. So I was going to show you too. I don't know if you'll even be able to see some of these. What I look for in a plastic is that one may not be the best place to see, but there's a little emblem on here, and it'll be a little triangle, and it'll have a number and maybe some letters in here. This one may be a little bit easier to see, but a lot of these plastics will have letters or numbers on them, and those letters and numbers mean something. Like that one, maybe it's easy to read. P-E-T-E, PET, right there. So now I'm going to shut this off again. We're going to go about this another angle. Okay, this will be another one of those times that I have to apologize because I don't know how to do like all those wonderful people that do good videos. I don't know how to interject what is on my computer and put it in my film. So maybe you can see this. This is from Dymapack. It's just, so what exactly is Mylar? This polyethylene film is made from stretched, and there's that word again, the polyethylene, whatever that is, the PET, otherwise known as biaxially oriented polyethylene terephthalate. It was first developed in 1950s by the DuPont Hearst Company. Mylar is produced by vaporizing aluminum inside a vacuum chamber, yada yada, and then bonded to a polyester sheet to create PET. Alright, on this one, I've already shown you, it's made out of, believe it or not, the same kind of plastic as a lot of these water bottles and things that some of us are using now to try to save money. But I want to focus you on that right there. DuPont. Okay, bear with me. Let me go over here again. This is to Healthline. We live in a very plastic world. Nearly everything we eat and drink is in plastic. Some plastic, like those that contain BPA or other harmful chemicals, can negatively affect our bodies or the world we live in. Polypropylene, a complex plastic, is generally considered safe for humans, but what do we know about this useful and ubiquitous product? You can do your own research. What has, over the last 3 years, certain letters and certain names have really started to flag me. Like, can y'all see that? It's FDA approved for food contact. Awesome. Awesome sauce. And I trust FDA completely now. And I can trust CDC completely now. You know what I mean? I trust them. They are all about me and you and what's good for us. So I trust them. And I trust anything that says .gov. How about you? Alright, that's what I wanted to show you, number one. And they're still testing doings in here. Is it safe? They can't. It's derived from petroleum and is considered by the Environmental Protection Agency, hey, and considered to be a safer choice than other types of plastics. I feel good all under. I have a warm fuzzy feeling. How about you? So let me go over here and this is Wikipedia. I'm not going to do all your research for everybody. I just wanted to bring some of this up to y'all. You can do your own and make your own decision. The history of it, it was created by the DuPonts, yada, 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 yada. Do your own research, people. So, out of curiosity, let's see. I did this. And I don't know if I'm even wanting to say the words. You see that right there? You see that name right there? You see that right there? You see? You see? You see? You see? I trust all of them. So, okay, I'm not saying anything bad, but I trust. I trust them. I trust them. I trust them. How about you? So, and another thing, while we're at some of this, I went over to some, I downloaded, so I don't know if this is going to come through. Here again, you can look this up. The different plastics, plastic resin identification codes. There's all kinds of them. There's that one, and I know you can't see it, but you can look this up. PET1 or PET1 is a polyurethane, and there's that name again. Most popular term is PET. Soft drink beverages bottles, water bottles, cooking oil bottles, yada yada yada. Use one-time use only, and then to be crushed and disposed. So this says. But now I've seen others, easy to recycle, and recycle PET has many uses. You know what a lot of them do? Please wake up. A lot of them are recycled, supposedly, and come right back again as this, and then they're sold to us. I tried to show you what I just showed you. Why would certain people tell us that, and I'm not saying it's not great, I'm still going to use Mylar, okay? I am still going to use Mylar, and I'm still going to use glass every possible time I can. But who benefits if I don't reuse plastic bottles? How about that company? Do they maybe benefit if I don't reuse plastic? Or how about that company? Do they benefit if I throw all my plastics away and recycle? Do these people benefit? What do they have to lose if I recycle these same plastics that they're going to use and use them? But I'm only doing this. We have to do our own research. I can't even say with what I've even read here, can I even say any of this is safe? No, I cannot. Not even up to and including, I can't swear that Mylar is safe. I can't swear that vacuum seal bags are safe because they're made out of the polyethylene, whatever I showed you. So you make your choice. Please don't follow what I say, but that's what I'm going to use. From all my studies, glass is best, but guess what? Let's just say all you store is in glass jars, or even reusable glass jars. mason jars. One good hurricane or tornado or flash flood, something shifting your home around, and everything you own, if you don't have it safe and secured, could be busted out of those glass bottles, and then all of your stores are ruined. Okay, now let's go to the Mylar, which I like Mylar. I'm not knocking any of these, but just say, one, they are not rodent proof. And with certain bugs, after a period of time, they may not even be bug proof. Have y'all seen some of the cockroaches down here in Florida? But all it takes is one small puncture, even in the Mylars. Do some more study on this, and then you do what you think is best for you. One small puncture in that Mylar ain't worth what you're thinking it is. However, I'm going to still use Mylar. I like Mylar. I'm still going to use vacuum seal bags. I like vacuum seal bags. And I'm still going to use these plastic containers. I don't care if people all across the world says, boy, she is the biggest goober I ever saw. I get it. I really, really, really do. But if my choice is keep it in that flimsy little bag that this stuff comes in, or put it in at least a harder plastic, hoping to increase my shelf life, I'm going to do that. I love all you guys that are trying to warn us. I appreciate that. But let's learn some of these things. If they're your friends, and the FDA and the CDC and all these, wonderful. I know I trust them. They're my friend. I guarantee you. I feel good about it. All right. I promise y'all, I'm gonna bring this plane in for a landing. This particular part here, many of y'all know that I try to encourage those that are brand new at this, or that have questions on this, or very, very limited income, as I said earlier. So let's pretend that y'all are just now starting, you haven't been doing this long. These are just examples. If you are beginning this journey, don't necessarily worry about repackaging unless you just have these and want to do it, and let me show you why. That's the Dollar General brand elbow macaroni. I just bought it last week. I hope you can see, but in case you can't, that says this is good through 10/12 of 2024. That's Best Buy. It's actually good longer than that. So in other words, over a year. You buy that today. If your home is relatively bug proof and vermin proof, rat proof, just put this, preferably in a dark place and cool place if you can, but just stick it in there. Don't worry about repackaging it now. You're going to keep adding to, and at a certain point it'll rotate out, or you will put it in one of these. All right, this is lentil beans. That's the same cheap, dinky little package that they come in. Let me see if I can. All right, where's the date on this? Oh, you may not be able to see this for sure. This says best if used by June 2024. I don't know if it'll even come through. So in other words, here again, that's a year. If you have a bug proof, rat or mouse proof, just stick that in there. Don't worry about repackaging. They say it's good for that long. If you can, maybe stick it in the freezer for a couple days in case there's little larvae in there and things. All right, now here's navy beans. All of these I just bought within the last week. That says best if used by May 2024. So I'm telling you, there's no big, huge rush in this yet. And even this long grain rice that I just bought today, let's see what it says. Why do they stamp that upside down? They do things just... All right. This says best if used by July 2025. This is claiming 2 years shelf life. So, if this will help ease some of you newbies up, just do this. Now, if you live in an area you do have problems with bugs, and if you do have a problem with mice, then by all means try to do something a little bit more protective with this. If you don't have a roach problem or some of these other problems, just stick them in your pantry, stick them in your cabinet, and keep them like that until you build your stock up. I do recommend, especially with rice and flour and some of these other things, that you maybe put them in your freezer and for a day or two, and then let them slowly thaw back out to kill anything that's in there. Because there is larvae. There's going to be eggs and things in here. You can take that to the bank. There will be. All right. I think I'm done, except for, you know, the ritual. Matthew. I've read this before, but it's worth reading again. 24, and I'm going to start at verse 4. And Jesus answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences, and earthquakes in diverse places, and all these things are the beginning of sorrows. We need to learn to work together. If you don't want to do this, please don't, but please have a heart not to make fun of people that don't even have enough money to start building this up. Please don't discourage them, okay? Encourage them and maybe say, hey, Karen, check out this site and here's some more information that may help you. Encourage each other. Why do people have to be so nasty? Oh, and the last thing I forgot is I pointed this out a while ago, and I looked this up just out of my own curiosity, because I keep looking at Survival Living, and again, he's awesome. If you're not watching his channel, you need to watch him. And there's so many people I follow, so many people. Patera at Appalachia's Homestead. I'm too nervous. I can't go through this. This seems like, oh wow, that is really all the oxygen out. And that one's not. Well, I hope this is showing up there, because I sure can't see. But what I read whenever I just did my research earlier, this means, and he did tell us that he presses as much of the air out as he can. This is a result of you've got as much air out as you can, and then the oxygen absorber took the oxygen out and seemed to make it hard as a brick. But I also read that doesn't mean that all the oxygen wasn't taken out. The oxygen was still taken out, but the air was left in there. The reason you need to know this is I don't want people thinking, oh, I did it wrong. No, oxygen is one thing. Air, with oxygen removed, air is still in there. I could have done better and pressed more of that out. So be encouraged, all of you. Love you guys. Take care. Man, I am so long-winded. I don't know. I'd say maybe I need to get a dog, but I got 2 of them. Y'all take care.